There he is. Just look at him. He's just a great captain, isn't he? But he doesn't quite play in the Premier League, does he? So we're going to have to look out for someone else. Welcome to the Game Week 2 Captain Picks. This is the series where I suggest the best captains to choose from, whilst also spreading my legs and revealing to you my captain choice for this week. Ooh. Last week I was buzzing. An absolute busy bee, so couldn't make a captain pick video for you. I know, right? Terrible FPL tuber over here. Oh god, apology video coming soon, alright? I'm sorry. But the players I was gonna suggest were these, where we saw 4 out of the 5 return something, 1 hat-trick, 1 brace, and a goal and an assist from the other 2. But it was the daddyings being the only disappointment, where just the entire Southampton performance was just trash, like dead in the bin, terrible. But moving on to my captain picks this week for Game Week 2, starting with Bruno! Game Week 1 was definitely the Fantasy Penalty League, where 2 players scored 2 penalties each. Like, are you mad? So if trends are anything to go off of, Bruno Fernandes is ready to score 5 goals, all from the spot this week. But even if he doesn't, he's playing in a very attacking team, whilst not only taking all of the set pieces, but sometimes the only creative player in their team. He also loves sniping the ball in with his 50 caliber right leg, smashing in those long shots too. So can score from every possible way. He's also been directly involved in 50% of United's goals since he joined them in January, having the highest goal involvement out of any team since he joined. So that means if Man United were to bang, absolutely smack in all of the golassos, you wouldn't want to bet your house against Bruno being involved in pretty much all of them. He may not go on to be the highest scoring United player for a game, but definitely the safest in terms of potential involvement, where he could still easily score the most. So the question isn't really, do you trust Bruno or Man United? It's more, do you trust the poor Palace defence to actually crumble and let a few goals go through their thick exterior? Where to me, I would say United definitely have a chance of smashing their walls down and getting quite a few in, just like they did not only 2 months ago. Making Bruno a yes for my first captain pick of Game Week 2. With my next captain pick, and officially, my captain for Game Week 2. Locked in, chains around it, and can't ever be changed. It's Aubameyang! Not only was he the most popular captain choice last week out of anyone, and with good reason, even with all of those cheeky scrub FPL amateurs not knowing what they're doing, but he's probably going to be one of the most captain this week too. But he's just kind of a good goal scorer, isn't he? Since he joined the Premier League, no other player has scored more goals than him, apart from a little Mo Salah in there, but yes. Whilst also Aubameyang getting a fair few amount of assists too. And as you know, no one will let you forget, Aubameyang is now an FPL midfielder, getting those extra points for goals and clean sheets too. We're against a wibbly-wobbly West Ham United, who I don't even need to roast because their fans do it enough for them anyway. I think a clean sheet for him is guaranteed, a few goals are guaranteed, but it's not quite guaranteed Aubameyang will be involved. But if you had to put any money on it, if you had to guess correctly, for your life depended on it, then Aubameyang could be your guy here. Because I think when you look at captain picks, you have to have a few things. A player that's in form, for a team that's in form, whilst playing against a team out of form, who also usually concede a lot anyway, also helping when your player is playing at home too. Making Aubameyang against West Ham my second captain pick of the Game Week 2 captain choices, whilst also being my second captain in my FPL team this year. The next guy to potentially make you have a party for getting you all of the captain goals. It's Jamie Maddy. Now, apart from the 2 penalties he got against West Brom, he didn't really have that many chances, even though Leicester were quite attacking, which could be a sign of bad things to come. But wherever it was still just a casual 13 points for Vardy by netting the 2 penalties. And even though Leicester were out of form at the end of last season, Vardy was still getting the occasional goal here and there, and you can't forget, he kind of got the golden boot last season as well. The shiniest shoe for scoring the most goals. That doesn't happen by chance, alright? But this game here might be a tough one for him against Burnley. Now, we all know Burnley are defensive giants. Nothing goes through them ever. But sometimes they can be a bit leaky, pipes cracked and letting a few goals in. Especially potentially being not quite as match sharp, not playing a league game yet. So could last season's top goal scorer whap in a few more goals to make all of you chappies that captain him happy chappies, with Vardy being my third Game Week 2 captain option. Now the next guy, if you go for him as captain, okay, let me tell you something. You just have massive ballassos, alright? You are big balls, alright? Fair play to you, because I would be too afraid to do it myself. With that player being Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now initially, and maybe still for me, I don't think he's an amazing top goal scorer yet, but he could become that player. He scored 13 goals in the league last season, but if any of you paid attention, most of those goals were very jammy. Full on jam on toast and just lucky. But maybe that was just him being in the right positions at the right time from all the deflections and shots anyway. So maybe it was just fluky. But in FPL, if he keeps on scoring, it doesn't really matter what way he gets it. But now Everton, oh boy, they actually have a decent team now with a full-out pimp my midfield going on there. With not only a good enough team to potentially win games, but score a decent amount of goals now. What? But it seems like it might be Calvert-Lewin's spot to lose up front now, where you can have the Luka Deans and James Rodriguez whipping balls into him for an entire game and just getting his head on all of them. Now that is tasty. But if your appetite wasn't whetted enough, he plays West Brom this week. West Brom, you know, the team that still have championship quality defenders and conceded 3 last week. I got a feeling Everton are probably going to spank them all over the pitch this game. And are probably going to bang in a few where I'm expecting Calvert-Lewin to score at least 1, maybe 2 or 3 if Richarlison actually puts in his eyes this time and can actually see his players. Making him my 4th captain pick for Game Week 2. With my final and potentially best captaino choice, double points option being Harry Kane. That's right, a Spursy striker. But hang on, I got reasons, alright. And that main reason being, have you bloody seen the Southampton defence? Oh dear, not only did they concede to Palace, the team that scored the least goals out of anyone apart from Norwich in the league last season, but their full strength team just lost to a half strength championship Brentford team 2-0. If they're conceding to them, then you would think that one of the best out-and-out forwards, one of the best finishers in world football, in Harry Kane, can at least score 1, right? But the problem is, Spurs are just Spurs, aren't they? You never know what they will do. They could go and win 5-0 and just all be own goals and just they play terribly. Or they could play the best football they've ever done and still lose. So I would definitely not myself make the Mr. Too Much Saliva when he talks Harry Kane my captain, but I don't think he's the worst of options this week, which is why he is the final player to finish my Game Week 2 captain picks. Honourable mentions also include some similar players around these, such as the Rashfords, the Sons, the Martials, the Richarlisons, or even Lacazette if you're an absolute wacky maverick and just love living life on the edge. But these are my options this week. But again, I'm personally gonna go for Aubameyang as the main captain armband wearer, then Bruno as a very close second with my vice. But that might still change. I'm tempted to go Bruno, you know, but probably Aubameyang. Don't know. Making the correct captain decisions can be the difference between a good season and an absolute amazing great season. So make sure you choose wisely. Thanks for watching, and remember,
don't be a cheeky scrub. Subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now.